So, as of this week, it's been exactly 2 years since I started making my movie. And what have I learned? Nothing. No, I've learned everything. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I'll start with the 2 year thing. So, it's not been a solid 2 years of work. If you laid all the working days end to end, I'd be surprised if it even got to 6 months. It's basically just if I've got a free evening or a free weekend. Some weeks I work quite hard on it full time, even. Some weeks I don't even think about it. Obviously, I've got a full-time job and a family, so I can't commit my whole life to this movie. I wish I could in some ways. So it'd be nice if this was my full-time job, but sadly it's just a hobby that I do when I get a free moment. And even with some of those days that I work on the film, it might even be 10 minutes worth of work. Sometimes I get home from work, I might just nudge something and render it, and then that's a day's work. It just depends on the day, really. So over those 2 years, I'd say I'm probably two-thirds of the way into production. Which probably means I've got about a year, if my maths is correct. Probably got about a year left on this project. It could be shorter than that, it could be longer than that, but I've done about 15 minutes worth of animation at the minute. I was kind of aiming for another 5 to 7 minutes. I'm nearly there. I mentioned it before, but I've animated the beginning and I've animated the end, so I'm just doing the middle bit now. I can kind of be a bit flexible with that. I've got like a long-term plan of my perfect middle section, but I can shorten it, knowing that I could finish this movie in a week if I wanted to, but I don't really want to finish it yet. I'm having a lot of fun. Obviously, it's my hobby. I'm enjoying myself, and now I've moved to social media. I'm enjoying having all your guys' feedback as well. It's been a lot of fun, so I'll keep it up for another year or so, I reckon. But hopefully sooner rather than later. It'd be nice if I could finish it by the end of this year, but I'm not going to give myself any deadlines or anything. There's no point where you're making it for yourself. There's no point in rushing anything. Just take your time with it, enjoy it. It's quite nice, like on an evening when I get home from work, if everyone's gone to bed, etc. I just think I'll just fire up the computer and maybe do a bit of animation. That's how I'm kind of treating it. So nothing too intense. Be nice. I'm looking forward to showing you guys. It'd be nice to upload it, and that day will come. So let's go back to the what have I learned thing. So yeah, like I said, everything. So all through my life, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, and all through my life, I've learned filmmaking. I kind of presumed I'd be going down the live action path, but I've fallen into this animation path, and that's fine. Despite all the college and university courses and all the silly films I've made with my friends for YouTube, etc., the best thing you can do to learn to make a film is to make a film. And I've learned a lot about filmmaking. The main thing for me has been a longer narrative than what I'm used to. I've done a lot of silly shorts over the years for like YouTube, like sketches and things, but actually getting from A to B with the story, that's been a whole new thing for me. And I think the other thing that's been a bit of a struggle is shot placement. I didn't realize how hard it would be to kind of like do the storyboard or animatic or go from shot to shot. You kind of have it planned in your head, but when you actually go to make it, all the technical things like crossing the line or all that, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I think especially in animation, because when you're filming something, you kind of try and make life easier for yourself and just go like that with the camera. Person A, person B, but when you go from person A to person B in the virtual world, I found myself just going nuts with the camera, and then suddenly I was crossing the line again, just from actually making it and going a shot at a time. I've learned a hell of a lot there. Thankfully, I'm not doing dialogue, so I've not done anything to do with screenwriting. So that's another thing I need to learn one day, but that's the next film, I imagine. I have some dialogue, I'm not going to worry about it now. In terms of Blender, I started learning Blender 5 years ago in lockdown, like everyone else, it seems. And that was 3 solid years of tutorials, just following tutorials, following the regular YouTube suspects, trying silly little things for Instagram, not trying anything too hard, a bit of modeling here or there, a bit of animation here or there. But I'd say I've definitely learned so much more in the last 2 years just going for it. I was probably a bit too premature going straight into a movie after a couple of years of learning Blender, but I have no regrets because I would say that 80% of my Blender skill set has come from the last 2 years of just going full scale into production. And the thing is with this film is that I was doing it completely out of the public's eye. I was doing it in my own time. No one needed to see it. If it was rubbish, no one needed to see it. I would have probably brought my family with it, but that would have been about it. So I would recommend just trying to make something. What's the worst that can happen? Even if you do a couple of shots, you'll kind of learn where your strengths and weaknesses are straight away. But certainly in the first couple of months where I was making this film, I was still relying on tutorials and things like that. Whereas now, my confidence and instinct to look up something in Blender itself rather than going to YouTube for help, I think, my confidence has come a long way. I can just do that now. If I can go, I don't know how to do that. I know kind of vaguely where to look in the menus and everything like that. I don't think I've really looked at a tutorial outside of just following my favorite YouTubers for 2 years now, which has been great. And not to say I'm an expert or anything. It's been sweet. People asking me questions on social media. I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing yet, but I've obviously picked up a few things along the way. And that's all really just been through trial and error making this film. I've tried to keep the film simple. If you've seen the clips, they're all quite simple on there. I mean, plenty of you have told me that it looks simple. Plenty of you have been lovely, so that's great. I don't mind either way. It's fine. This is all this is all me learning. It's all good. I've banged on about muscle memory on this channel before, but muscle memory is definitely the way forward with this kind of stuff. And my muscle memory is definitely there now, to the point where if I just want to fire up Blender for half an hour on an evening, I'm not worrying about how to do things. I'm just doing it, which has been great. So what would I do differently? I wouldn't make it as long as I have done. I mean, that's is kind of basic, isn't it? I mean, everyone knows that, don't they? If it's your first film, don't make it too long. Try and stick to something that's like 3 minutes long. I wish I'd come up with an idea that was 3 minutes long. I'd say if you were thinking about doing something like this, yeah, really just try and aim for 3 minutes. It's hard though because I don't know how to write stories really. The only thing that came to mind that I really wanted to make was 10 minutes in my head is going to probably be about double that now. But I still tried to keep it simple. It's still a character going from A to B. There's a conflict resolution. Running games in the middle is straightforward. It's no masterpiece of storytelling. Hopefully I just make it fun and there's enough jokes to make it something special, but we'll see. I think if you were thinking about starting your own film, yeah, just a little sketch, just a little 2-3 minute thing, something you could post on Instagram is probably a good way to start, and then maybe you can make it 5 minutes next time and 10 minutes the next time. I think for me, I've got this like 10 to 20 minute long film. I'm probably going to do a 3 minute film next, but make the quality better. A lot of people have been saying, oh, it looks like a movie from the 2000s. And I'm so old that I was like, oh, so it looks like a modern movie. No, they don't mean that. They mean it looks old, which is fine. Again, I'm learning. It's all good. But I would like the idea of, instead of rushing through a 20-minute movie, it'd be nice to spend 6 months to a year working on a solid 3 minute piece with glorious animation and glorious models and texturing. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge later. I'm trying not to think about what the next project is, because I need to stay firmly in this this world. I've said it before, but the characters are all very basic. The main character is literally something I made 3 months into my Blender journey. I think the second character was something I made within a month of learning Blender. So I'd love to go back and start again, but I'm not going to. That's kind of the point of this whole project, just keep moving. So yeah, I'm firmly invested in this. I'm trying not to, whenever I think of an idea, I think, no, get it out of my head, just write it down, put it away. We'll concentrate on future films at another time. I'm sticking with Cosmic Kidnap for now. I don't want to fail. I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to put all this out there and then go, oh, I've decided to start again on something a bit nicer. No, this is the thing. No one ever finishes their pet projects, do they? I need to succeed and finish the pet project. That is the main goal. It doesn't matter how silly things look or how amateur it looks. I need to get a movie done so I can say I'm a filmmaker. I've made a movie and I'm making another one and I'm making another one. That's the plan. And if you're watching this because you like the idea of making movies, I don't want to scare you by saying it's been 2 years. 2 years is nothing. Look on your phone, look what you're doing 2 years ago. It flies by. And if you don't start now, when are you going to start? So my advice would be, if you're desperate to make a film, start today. If you can't start today, start tomorrow. And if you can start tomorrow, put something in the calendar, book some days off, or say, not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm not going to be social. I'm going to stay in and start making a film, because the starting point is the hardest part. Once you start, it's like pulling a thread. You just keep going. So let me go back 2 years and tell you how I got started, because that was the hardest bit for me. So I'd made all the models, I made the characters, I made the sets. I was kind of ready to go, but I was just procrastinating and just kind of finding excuses not to start, because starting for me was the hardest part, like actually making the proper film. It was easy just doing tests and things, but actually making the proper film, I found it quite hard to get going with that. So me and my wife were going to go away for 2 days, and we booked 2 days off, and then she went and got a new job, and the start date for that was 2 years ago this week. So we rescheduled everything, and she said to me, you might want to cancel those 2 days of leave from work that I booked for the holiday. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to keep those 2 days. So I knew I was going to start in about 2 weeks' time, and I had these 2 days. And I thought that is going to be the day that I start. So I made sure all the models were good to go. I did a bit of cleaning up just because I knew I had a start date. So I just kind of wanted everything to be ready for when I started. And day one came along, my wife went off to work. And I treated it like it was my job. I took the kids to school. I grabbed a drink. I sat down in front of the computer and got cracking. It was a gloriously hot day, the first day. And as one of the Brits will tell you, if the sun's out, you don't spend any time indoors. You go straight outside. So that was kind of torture. So I had everything going against me. It felt like I was sat looking at the glorious sunshine indoors. But I was so excited to get going. And like I say, when you pretend it's your full time job, you kind of feel that excitement and the motivation. So I got cracking. And in those 2 days, I did almost 4 shots. So I did two completed shots and I did two animatic style shots. And I'll show you a preview here. I don't want to give too much away, but I'll show you vaguely what I did. And this is the first pass as well, so things have improved textures and other ways since then. But I felt so motivated after those 2 days. I put the footage on the TV, and it was so exciting watching like a couple of shots in order. I really like felt that I should just keep going. Like I say, I just felt like pulling a thread. So I did that. There's 2 lovely days. Like I got those 4 shots. By that weekend, I neatened them up so that they all looked like normal shots, and then I was kind of ready to do the next shot, and then the next shot, and the next shot. So indeed, my advice would be to book a day off, book 2 days off, clear a weekend, just schedule something, and that would be the day you start. Because otherwise you won't start. But once you start, it's just like you just want to keep going. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support on all the socials. I've been meaning to kind of post stuff for a while, but I was kind of in my own little world just trying to make the film. For years, I've been saying I wanted to make a YouTube channel and I wanted to make an Instagram account. And well, my wife finally kicked me up the bum and said, you better put some stuff out there. So I did at Christmas. And my goal was to maybe get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm a bit overwhelmed with the amazing support and love and the hate. It's been awesome. I've enjoyed every second. So thanks for sticking by and following along and your comments. And if you're watching this, you're one of the few that actually watches the long videos because everyone else is watching the shorts because, kids these days with their attention spans. So I really appreciate you watching the long stuff and getting to the end of this video. So I'll continue to post as and when I can. I'm going to slowly start focus because I focus so much attention on the social media side. I'm going to start coaxing it back in a month or so. So there will definitely be regular uploads, but maybe just 1 or 2 a week or one a week. Maybe more longer ones where I actually show you what I'm doing rather than just going over old stuff. Just because I need to get back into the world of actually making the film, and hopefully that's what most of you are here for. I know a lot of you are enjoying the tutorial stuff. Like I said, I'm no expert. I've only got a few things that I wanted to get off my chest in terms of tutorials, but otherwise, yeah, this is going to be mostly about making my movie. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. So once again, thank you for your support, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thank you.